Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How's everybody doing today? Thank you guys again for tuning into another stream. Anyways, as you can see, there's really not anything titled in the video. And that's primarily because this morning I didn't see, excuse me one second, I didn't see a whole lot moving around pre-market in terms of stocks today that I was really interested in, and that's fine. Just because I'm not interested in something doesn't mean that there's not going to be amazing plays in the day. And quite frankly, I'm probably just missing something. All right, I didn't see anything I liked this morning, which doesn't mean that there's not anything good. It's probably the fact that I'm just missing it, or there is just a little bit less opportunity out there today. So I'm not seeing anything I'm crazy about today. And that's why there's really nothing titled in the video of the stocks to trade today. So I decided, well, we're still going to get on the line, and any stocks you guys are looking at, we'll take a look at them. Maybe go through a few. I'll kind of point out a few things I still might watch for the day. But I've already kind of got my mindset that today is a day where I myself, as a trader personally, should probably just sit back and be extremely patient. And if I see a small little intraday setup, take it. And probably just take my profit really fast. So don't look for really, really big wins. Look for just some pretty small base hits, lock it in, and call it a day. Just because I'm not seeing a lot that I like. And I know as a trader, if I'm not seeing what I like, the day is going to be harder. So going forward, just keep that in mind as a trader. Okay. Hold on, I'm just going to run through a couple comments here real fast. Excuse me. Rise and grind, gamers. Saudi. What's up, Connor? What's going on, guys? Good morning to everybody. Wish you all the best trading day. CAR is up 6%. I did see CAR in my scanner. I didn't look at it. EA is not a bad one. I actually would, EA is something good to mention. Does CGC has earnings today? Is it coming out during the bell? Wait, I didn't know that. I thought it was just, no, it's just ACB having earnings, not CGC. Yeah, wait, where's my thing? That's really weird. My screen's not showing me my earnings report things. That's really odd. I don't know why that's the case. Hold on. That's really weird. Why would it do that? I don't know. I don't have the answer for that one. Did I see my favorite stock? I wouldn't call it my favorite, but yeah, I did see NBEV today. Did it bounce up or did it drop out? So it's up to 661. Yeah, I see what. So yeah, it bounced off of $6, just as we kind of anticipated it would. Yeah, now that NBEV is bouncing off of $6, it could head back north. For me, I don't think it's going to break out after this bounce. I think it's going to take another couple months if it's even going to break out now. It tried to break out 2 times, failed. This is the pullback we anticipated instead would most likely come. Same thing with CGC, same thing with CRON. Now with NBEV, on me personally, I don't really care too much about what's going to happen here from, this week or next week. For me, the view on CRON, in terms of it really pushing higher and breaking out, I think it's time frame it's looking at is probably another month or so. So right now I'm probably just neutral on NBEV for like a whole month at this point. Let's see, SQPOTN. Yeah, just kind of looking at some comments here. I will talk about EA real fast. So if you're not familiar with EA, they had earnings not too long ago, in which I even said myself, I'm like, honestly, this is on this earnings here just the other day. I was like, this is probably a great buy. And even I actually traded a little bit on that day and made some money. But I was like, this is probably a great buy point. Honestly, in my head, I'm like, EA, with the way the gaming industry is going, I really don't see this as a massive sell-off. I think it's a good time to buy, and sure enough, it was. So anyways, a lot of people are looking for continuation on EA. If you look at it from here, it's an extremely bullish stock with a massive push straight up. And there's been a lot of hype and momentum around it. You can see here the volume is significantly higher than it usually is. So we know a lot of people are paying attention to it and trading it. So it's possible that EA has continuation today. That's kind of the one thing I was following for on EA. I'm not even following it, but that is the one thing that we were kind of paying attention to, is a possible continuation play on EA. And I keep fiddling around with this chart, but it's right here at 10:01. You know, it arguably has this little pop here at 102.26 you'd have to watch out for in terms of resistance. But really, I would just watch EA for a little bit continuation to the upside. It has had a really big move from 75 to 100, so it's already moved $25 per share, a lot, so you do have to be careful. It is starting to get a little bit overextended is what I'm getting at. 1 second. CAR, I'll take a look at CAR. Yeah, CAR doesn't trade very heavy volume, so I probably won't trade that. And that's really just it. It doesn't usually trade heavy volume, so probably will not focus too much attention there. All right, look at the day. A lot of spacing in the candlesticks, meaning low volume, so I usually don't trade those particular stocks. AVYA I did see had earnings. They're kind of coming down. But again, AVA is one that doesn't typically trade a lot of volume, and its earnings days, why is it doing that? It's not showing the calendar earnings days reports. You see that? Look at that. I don't know, maybe it's that update they did over the weekend on Thinkorswim, but you see this this earnings report symbol? There's one here and then no more. Same thing with, was it CGC? Same thing with CGC. CGC, the chart is not showing the earnings report days. Whereas, like, if I go look at ACB, ACB is showing me the last two, whereas the one prior. What about Netflix? Netflix shows me all of its earnings. Baba shows me all of its earnings. Weird. Really weird. Not sure. Anyways. Let's see. Kind of just going on the list here, guys. Just looking at some things. Tilray, ATVI, ABCL looks crazy. AVCO, let's see. Yeah, I wouldn't know because I can't see. I guess I could see my, let's see. I guess I could do that. AVCO going crazy. Let's see. Kind of. Let's see. What's the news? Avon Global Care announces a breakthrough in identifying human angiogenic. I don't know how to pronounce that. I sound like an idiot. But anyways, something angiogenic exomus extracellular derived from something. A lot of big words in there that I can't pronounce. Alrighty then. So yeah, they have 2 press releases this morning on Thinkorswim, probably some more elsewhere on the internet. But yeah, there's some positive news on it so far. It has started with the gap up, so it could be something to keep an eye on. You know, is it going to move? That's the question. Will you move? Yeah, keep it on watch. I mean, it's down at a buy point. You know, it definitely is. In terms of this chart from the range right here are sell points. One here, and down here are buy points. So theoretically, I mean, it is a buy because it's that low and kind of consolidation and support. So I'll keep an eye on it. There's nothing too much, you know, so far pre-market, it's just up. You know, there's really not too much more to it. And this doesn't excite me because, and that's the thing is, I personally don't care about anything that ever happens to a stock this early before the bell. Right? So like when we're like, hey, look at AVCO, it's moving. So like, yeah, it's moving. And that's all you need. All I really need to do is look at it once, read the news and go, okay, I'm done watching it until the bell. Unless you want to trade it pre-market, then you could trade it pre-market, but I usually don't trade things pre-market. So for me, it's like, okay, AVCO is moving. I'll come look at it. I'll check the news. I got an idea, and then I just forget about it until the bell. And when it comes around to the bell, if it then looks good, then yeah, maybe I'll trade it on the day. But until it holds up through all pre-market, I don't get too excited. I basically am banking on the idea that whenever a penny stock pops pre-market, it's going to end up failing. So that's the way my mind works. Whenever a penny stock is moving pre-market, I always think that this is going to be an absolute dud on the day. I don't ever get my hopes up for a penny stock. I never get my hopes up when things are up big pre-market and it's early. I always think this is going to be nothing until it shows me otherwise. So that way I don't get my hopes up, and I don't usually find myself trading a stock that probably shouldn't be traded. I'm usually thinking that I shouldn't be trading any of these penny stocks until they really tell me I should be trading them. So AVCO is, a penny stock this morning that is moving. It's the only one I've seen so far with somewhat good volatility. Yeah. POTN, actually, I want to take a look here at Shopify. Shopify has earnings coming up soon. They're into a new 52-week high. Well, that's just it. Shopify is into a 52-week high, so at this point, I would say Shopify's, I want to say it's a sell, because theoretically it's at highs, but let's see, top, breakthrough top, pullback, higher low, dip, run to new highs, probably. I want to say I'd be more of a seller on Shopify. It's hard to say I would be more of a sell because it's kind of broken into a new 52-week high, but usually when they break into new 52 weeks high, they don't hold very well anyways, so I would probably be more of a seller on Shopify, especially with the earnings coming up here. I think that's tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? Yeah, with the earnings coming up tomorrow, I'd just be neutral. I wouldn't be buying and I wouldn't necessarily be selling, but you have earnings on Shopify coming up tomorrow. So really, after earnings tomorrow, that's when you'd want to be playing Shopify. I will talk about the SPY here real fast. Right now, the SPY is at a sell point at the start of the day because we've gapped up. So ideally, right now, you should be thinking short bias on the market or just seller bias for the morning, shall I say. Not necessarily short bias, but you should anticipate that this morning we'll probably see an early morning sell-off on the market in an effort to close the gap down to 270.50 on the SPY. The Dow Jones and the NASDAQ will be different, but with the way the SPY is this morning, when the market opens, we should see the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ all gapped up. For the most part, that's usually how it works, but every once in a while it's a little different. But anyways, chances are most of the major indexes this morning will be gapping up, so you should be playing on the idea that we will see early morning sell-offs on the market, the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ, and if we do see early morning sell-offs on the NASDAQ, Dow Jones, and SPY, then you're probably going to see some early morning sell-offs on any of your stocks that are directly tied into the market movement. If you find a stock that is bucking the trend of the overall market, that's going to be a good one to watch today. So this is what I would say to you. If the markets start off pulling back and closing their gaps, and you find a stock that is not pulling back when the market is, follow that stock for the day because you know that that one's probably going to be on a bull run if the market's going down and that's going up. So that would be a good one to follow. I don't know which one that'll be, but you may or may not find it. But anyways, I would say we're probably going to see a little bit of a down start to this morning on pullbacks to fill that gap. So early morning, first 30 minutes, a lot of people are probably going to be watching for quick short scalp, short trades on a lot of the stocks here until we at least close the gap, and then they might be thinking long bias on the day. But I for sure probably see the markets dropping out, closing the gap down to 270.50, and then picking up. At least closing the gap to 270.50. This could also be the start of a downturn, right? Because here is the top, drop, bounce, lower high. Lower highs can be starts of new downtrend. So So this is what it is. This could be the start of a new downtrend day, or this will just be lead into consolidation. So this is kind of a significant day we're on right now for the market. Miguel, I don't really trade options all that much. So no, I don't personally make videos on it because there's other people out there that know far more about options. So I don't make option videos. At some point, if I ever feel comfortable doing it, I will. But at this point, I don't personally. What's my overall feel on the market? My overall feel on the market is we are not, or we'll probably... I have scenarios. I do go by feel, but I primarily have scenarios on the market where if it does this, then I probably will know what will happen. And so this is where we're at. If the market doesn't roll over and kind of drop down and have aggressive downward moves soon, then we're probably looking at months of consolidation in between this 280 to 259. We'll probably have months of sideways action in the market, especially until trade talks are figured out. I can't remember the deadline. I got to look up that date, but there is a deadline in which we're supposed to have things resolved with China, which isn't too far out. So I think we're probably going to have a pretty sideways market if bears don't really smack it back down. I think we'll have a pretty sideways market for the most part. I don't see... Other than that, I mean, that's about it. The only other theory I have is that we have a massive short squeeze that pushes us into new highs. That's the only thing I've thought about is we could have a really big short squeeze. Possibly, could have like a squeeze that starts a push into all-time highs, but even that would have to be, the bulls have to be very strong to do that. So yeah, I see primarily a less volatile sideways market. The volatility index is super low, so right now I don't trade the market. I haven't been short biased on the market, haven't really been taking any longs on the market. I don't really trade the market unless it's volatile, and right now it's not volatile, right? That's just it. Looking at the volatility index, again, nobody is scared that the market is going to go into a recession, a crash, or no one's just scared at this moment that the market's going to go down. Everybody thinks it's going to go up, and that's why the volatility index is all the way down to 15. So we're not in a volatile environment anymore. So soon, if we keep on this path and we get back down into 14, 12, or 10, all the stocks in the market are going to start moving back to the way they should. They're going to move based on their own catalyst, based on their own news, regardless of what the market is doing. So we're getting back to a stable market environment, so to speak. In terms of what the volatility index is telling us, it's saying, hey, we're starting to enter back into a stable market, which we kind of have. Stable in regards to Donald Trump and the Feds may or may not raise interest rates throughout 2019. Political events, probably still volatile. But in terms of how the actual stock market is feeling, it's saying we're not scared. It's not volatile. That's what's going on. Yeah, I think that's what, yeah, you're right. It's March is a deadline for the trade wars. That's right. Joe Blah. Yeah, you're right. It is a dead cat. Actually, probably not a dead cat bounce. Dead cat bounces usually don't last this long. Then again, I guess I could be, looking at a dead cat bounce from a stock standpoint, so it's arguable because if you look at a dead cat bounce from just looking at one stock, then, if a stock falls down, then yeah, it has its bounce and it usually continues back down. But talking about a dead cat bounce for the S&P 500, yeah, the dead cat bounce, if it were to roll back over, it probably shouldn't happen as fast because you'd have to be, it's working on 500 companies. So to see a dead cat bounce in the market, it's not just one stock you're dealing with, and it's not just the S&P 500. It's dealing with 500 different stocks. So in order to get a dead cat bounce in the market, essentially, after the bounce, you need all those 500 companies to start selling off. So unless all those 500 companies start selling off again, then you're not going to get the rollover phase / dead cat bounce in the market. So You're right. It still could be theoretically a dead cat bounce. It could be. Yeah. Anything under 10. Mark, right now we're not really looking at anything under 10. Really not looking at anything specific. More or less just kind of on here talking and answering questions for the most part. Russ, Thinkorswim did an update over the weekend on... TD Ameritrade did an update over the weekend on Thinkorswim, and they changed some things. I don't really know what they changed, but my Thinkorswim looked a little bit different here this morning. I feel like I'm having a little bit of issues with it, but I'm not too sure. So again, today was a little odd. There's really not a whole lot moving. So just want to come on, at least be on with you guys, answer a few questions, kind of give my insight on a few things. But for me, it's going to be a pretty straightforward day. Probably not going to trade too much, and probably going to be very patient, right? Not seeing the market I want today, not seeing much I like. So just is what it is. It's just one of those days. You don't have to trade. You don't have to make money every day. And that's it, guys. That's going to be an important... that's an extremely important thing to your trading. I mess up all the time. Something I like to do every day that I've been doing more often. I used to do it, but my trading was a little sloppy like 3 weeks ago. I was having a little trouble. But something I like to do every morning is just kind of remind myself that, I love nailing a $5,000 day or $4,000 day or $10,000 day or $25,000 day, which 25 grand doesn't happen like basically ever, but it happens every once in a while. I love nailing those days, but the emotional ride that comes with a big win, it's super stressful. So the longer you trade, the more you just come to the realization, and the more you are just willing to accept that you just don't want to have that emotional, stressful job and roller coaster, right? And so what I'm getting at is we all want to make a lot of money, but just being willing to accept small green days, small red days, don't always aim for the sky. And I always tell myself, take it easy, be patient. There's no rush to jumping in the market. There's no rush to making money. There's no rush to losing money in this game. I'm telling you, the more patient you are, the more, and this is the attitude you have. It's not the more patient you are, right? It's the I just don't give a shit attitude. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I should have came out first. It's the I just really don't give a shit attitude. That's the attitude you need to have coming in the market. And what I mean by that is I really could care less if I take a trade today. I really don't give a shit. I'm going to sit here, not really give a damn. Something happens and I like it, then I'll trade. If not, who really gives a shit? Because I'm not going to lose money or I won't make money. It'll be like as nothing happened. Right? And that's the attitude, because when you have that attitude, you just sit and until you see something that's just like, oh, you don't lose any money. And if you can do that, you'll just find yourself taking better trades, better setups. You will lose less often. You will make more money more often. And you'll come to find, it usually comes with experience. It's easier for me now that I've been trading for so much longer. And every once in a day, I still have those days where it's like, wow, you're just an idiot. What'd you do that for? But what I can say is what happens, I think even happened to me, is trading really drains you out. I mean, I never make videos about this. Maybe I should, but trading drains me hard. It's super stressful. Every once in a while, it does affect my everyday life. I don't ever talk about that. I should talk about that more often. But trading has really affected my everyday life, my thought process throughout the day, especially when I take a very big loss or if I have like a losing streak. I run into you doubt yourself a little bit, then you're like, what the hell? Then you don't want to work out. I don't want to go work out. I have a hard time, wanting to cook dinner. Sometimes, you wake up in the morning and go, oh, I got to wake up and trade today. Is today going to be another one of those down days? And I'm going to be pissed, right? And so those are the things, man. And that's the thing. It's the emotional side of trading. And that's the thing. When your trading's not in unison and not balanced, then it funnels over into your everyday life, and that's when it's not good, right? And that's when things really get messed up. And I've been there. I've been on that dark side a few times. And the way I can explain it best is like when you just work a regular job and you're working for somebody else, when you leave work, now this isn't the case for everybody, but I would say for the most part, everybody here, when you guys go to work, right? And me too, when I used to work for somebody else, right? When I went to work, I would do my job and then I would leave and that was it. Like I didn't, hold on one second. Let me get that back in. When I left my job, I didn't bring work home with me, right? Like when I worked at Lumber Liquidators and I was an assistant manager, right? When I was done with work, for the most part, it did not come home with me. Whatever happened at work stayed at work. I really could care less until I was back there the next day having to do my job. Whereas when you're trading, you're not working for anybody else. You are the boss. You own the business. So the business is always with you, right? That's the difference. Do you ever think a big, entrepreneurial CEO, someone who runs their own business, do you ever think work isn't with them? Work is always with them because they're not working for somebody else and they're not working 9 to 5. Their job is their life. So it's always with them and they have to learn themselves how to shut it off and shut it down and separate their personal life from their work life. And that's the problem with trading is it's so tied. It's so close because you're not working from somebody else and it's just you and you're the boss. So when you have a bad day or you're having a bad day, it can easily just kind of trickle over and just stick to you like gum and come into your personal life. And now you're just, and that's happened. It's happened to me plenty of times, right? When I trade bad, I could trade bad for 2-3 days and then the rest of the week I'm thinking about Monday morning. I don't even care about the weekend. I'm just thinking about Monday morning and it's just the whole week I'll be thinking about how I'm going to do better trading next week, how I'm going to do this, how I'm going to do that. And that's that problem is it can tie so deep in your personal life. It becomes stressful. It can become, time consuming and draining and all those things. And like I said, over the time and over your trade, you'll just get better understanding yourself and your emotions. And you'll know when you're like, dude, I just don't want to have that day where I have to worry about losing X amount of dollars because I'm trying to go heavy share size. And so there's a lot of things that trading you guys will learn and pick up over time. Just like today. Today's a Monday. I'm not seeing a whole lot that I like. So I know if I try and force something today, I'm probably setting myself up for a loss. And if I truly love myself, why would I put myself in that position? I shouldn't. Then you have that voice in your head that goes, oh, but you want to make some money today, don't you? You want to be a greedy piece of shit and make some money, don't you? And that's the voice you have to be able to turn off. Because if you don't, then you're probably going to result in a loss. So you really have to listen to that conscious, good voice. Be able to differentiate which one's the good voice in your head and which one's the bad one. You already know, but do the right job and listen to the right voice. And that is usually what's going to protect you in your trading for a long time to come. And remember, trading is a sprint or a marathon, not a sprint. And I've also fallen into the problem of thinking of trading too much as income rather than growth. When you think of trading as growth, your account grows better. When you think of trading solely as income, then it becomes more of a job and you think, okay, I have to make this money. And if I don't, then I'm not making any money. Whereas if you're like, oh, well, if I just make a little money here and a little money here and a little money here, your account grows and it grows and it grows. And you still think about it, you're just growing, right? And that's what you really want for trading. Anyways, so maybe a little off topic, maybe actually perfectly on topic. I don't know. But anyways, maybe I'll make a video. I gotta go. I'm having a good time this morning, but I did want to I was gonna make a video over the weekend. Something where I just wasn't behind the desk because you guys never really get to see me outside of this realm of the trading station. So I have wanted to do some more videos where you kind of get to know me a little more, but specifically do a video that talks about how my everyday life has been affected over these years of trading. In regards to taking losses or just trading sloppy and just not being organized because it has. My girlfriend will tell you, I've had days where I almost don't even speak. I'm so caught up in my own head with my own trading and business and YouTube and other things that I just don't even, it's like I have no emotion. I'm just completely empty. And I've had days like that. And it comes from my bad trading because I love trading so much and I love it and I'm great at it. I do a great job, but you know as well as I do, when you're not trading to your fullest potential, when you're not doing what you know you can do to your fullest potential, it drives you up the wall. And that's my thing. I like to be really good at what I do. So when I'm failing or I'm not doing it to a level that I get super down on myself. I bottle myself up. I go into my own little nutshell and it's like becomes my own little war zone. And I'm like, all right, Connor, get your shit together. You know you don't like being here. Why are you here? Figure it out. Get your shit together. Get on track so you can get out of your war zone, right? I put myself there and I shut myself down from a lot of people outside because I don't want any negative emotion to come onto them. I think to myself about what I'm going to do. And until I kind of get through that phase and back to my regular self, I'm kind of just like in my own thing. I'll usually work 10 times harder. If I trade bad for a week, then I work on business and things to keep my mind off it sometimes much harder. I don't know if you guys do that, but if I trade poor, then I'm like, okay, well, you did shitty here. You really need to focus and do great over here. Because if you're not doing well here, let's do something that's going to make you feel better, right? So then I work really hard on business, really hard on YouTube, really hard on working out. And I guess that's just kind of the way you deal with things, handle things. But maybe I'll make a video on kind of what it's like and what I do in those situations. And maybe it'll help you guys. Anyways, but a little bit more about me. Now you kind of know. Trading is not always all go happy go lucky. It could be a pain in the ass a lot of the times. But anyways, you guys get the point. So I will maybe do a little video on that. I got to get back. My team moderator, Brandon's probably pissed off at me because I'm taking too long over here. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, everybody have a good day. I hope that touched some of you a little bit, more than just your typical technical analysis. And with that being said, I'll see you guys all tomorrow morning for another trading day. You stay green. I'll try and do the same. And then we'll reconvene tomorrow morning, same time. You guys know the deal. Everybody take care. Have a good day. And I'll see you tomorrow. All right.